Now at 10, we look at the impact that Texas abortion law has had on clinics in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. Plus, how a state project will change the way students in Columbus, Kansas learn. And the Joplin Schools Foundation announces a new program they hope will inspire future and current students to pursue their dreams.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Abortion providers in Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri say they're continuing to see a dramatic increase in women coming from Texas who want to terminate their pregnancies. This is KOAM News at 10. Operators of 2 abortion clinics in Oklahoma say they've seen a huge influx in the number of women coming from Texas. Trust Women officials say the company's Oklahoma City clinic went from seeing 12 Texas patients in August to 130 in September after Texas passed the most restrictive anti-abortion law in the U.S. in decades. An official with Planned Parenthood Great Plains says they went from seeing about 50 patients from Texas at their clinics in Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma in the fall of 2020 to more than 1,000 last year. Checking in with Doug Hetty now for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a mild and very windy day for us today. Winds gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour at times. Temperatures up there as well. 66 started at 38. 50 is our normal high, but we do have changes rolling in. Winter storm watch for our northwestern counties. I do expect areas along the north of I-44 to go under a winter weather advisory as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. Outside right now, we just have the clouds. Storm system is developing back out across the southwestern parts of the U.S. Until it gets here, we stay mild. We're still into the upper 50s. We're going to really hold steady most of the night. Southerly winds will keep our temperatures up, so it stays very windy all night long. 55 in the morning, back to 64. Showers will start to develop. They're going to get some thunderstorms, severe threat, freezing rain, sleet, snow. We'll talk about it all here in just a bit.
Wow. See you soon. Thanks, Doug. Columbus High School is now one of 9 Kansas schools approved to launch a state redesign project. The Columbus School District joined the Kansas CAN School Redesign Project in 2019. It's aimed at helping schools ensure the success of their high school graduates. The school's counselor, Nikki Strickland, says it's already been beneficial for students' futures.
It's allowed us to increase some of our tech programs. And so kids get, plus just our focusing on the individual student and knowing kind of where they're wanting to go to increase options, whether it's college or not.
The main goal of the program is to help students explore their interests in addition to core classes they may take. The Joplin School District is introducing a new way to celebrate the accomplishments of its alumni. The Joplin Schools Foundation today announced the establishment of the Joplin Schools Hall of Fame. It'll honor alumni from Lincoln, Memorial, Parkwood, and Joplin High Schools. The foundation hopes the Hall of Fame will serve as an inspiration for current and future students to pursue their dreams.
Our students need to see people who've walked the halls that they've walked, who had the same kind of dreams and aspirations that they may have, and they've actually done it. And they need to be able to see that here are people that have done these things, they've made these accomplishments, they've made life better for all of us in a lot of these cases.
The foundation will begin accepting applications on May 15th. Court-appointed special advocates will soon have a new building in Joplin. CASA officials today broke ground on the Jasper County CASA Training and Connection Center. The organization connects children in foster care with volunteers who will advocate for their needs. Officials say the new $1 million facility will provide a consistent, centralized location with play and learning areas and space to train volunteers.
Yes, the kids are very excited, especially the ones who have been around a little while. They are really ready to have somewhere to go. Foster homes are really crowded. A lot of times there's lots of kids in them. So having a space that's just theirs that they get that one-on-one time is going to be incredible.
CASA officials say they're looking for around 50 more volunteers this year. Volunteer, you must be at least 21 years old, have a high school diploma or equivalent, be willing to participate in interviews and background checks, and complete a national CASA training curriculum. If you fit that criteria and you'd like to help, you can sign up to volunteer online. We've provided a link on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Bills to ban public employers from requiring COVID-19 vaccinations and to ensure unvaccinated patients can still get organ transplants are both advancing in the Missouri House. The House advanced the measures in a voice vote. One bill would ensure people who are unvaccinated still get unemployment benefits if they're fired for not getting the vaccine. Another would prevent doctors from stopping unvaccinated patients from getting organ transplants. Both bills need a second vote of approval to move to the Senate. As daily COVID-19 cases continue to drop, so does the pace at which people are getting booster shots. And it comes at a time when mask mandates are being lifted across the U.S. Mandy Gaither explains why that's raising concerns for some health experts.
The pace of new COVID-19 booster shots now at an all-time low in the U.S. as many pandemic precautions are being rolled back in cities and states.
We're not where we want to be with COVID hospitalizations, but the trend is definitely in the right direction.
The latest CDC data shows about 64% of the U.S. population is fully vaccinated. About 28% have received a booster shot. Among those eligible for a booster, less than a third who originally got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine have been boosted, compared with 52% of those who received their initial 2 doses of Moderna and 47% who got the Pfizer vaccine.
We certainly, I think, have reached a point where there aren't going to be a lot of people voluntarily kind of seeking out vaccines. That crowd is all vaccinated. So we're going to have to use other policy efforts. We should continue doing outreach to people to try to make it easier. We can't quite give up yet. I think we need to keep working on vaccinating more people.
The newest booster data comes as many mask mandates are being lifted, and the CDC hasn't changed its guidance when it comes to COVID restrictions.
But right now, we've got the state saying one thing and the CDC saying they're looking at this again, and that's just not enough.
With a vaccine decision delayed for children under 5, one health official says prevention remains the best medicine.
Take all the precautions you know that at work, whether it's masking, social distancing, hygiene.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
While new COVID-19 cases are dropping, the U.S. is still averaging more than 2,400 new deaths per day. That's according to Johns Hopkins University. Still ahead, we have the latest on tensions in Ukraine as Russia says it's beginning to withdraw troops from the country's border, and a settlement between the parents of the Sandy Hook shooting victims and the rifle company that made the gun used in the killings. President Biden is again warning Russia not to invade Ukraine. He reiterated his warning during an address to the nation this afternoon. His ongoing tensions with Russia continue to escalate. And just hours after Russian President Vladimir Putin insisted in a meeting with Germany's chancellor that he didn't want war. Skylar Henry has the latest from Washington.
President Biden says the U.S. is ready to respond if Russia invades Ukraine.
The United States is prepared no matter what happens. We are ready with diplomacy. We are ready to respond decisively to Russian attack on Ukraine.
In an afternoon address to the nation, the president said the U.S. has seen no evidence of Moscow's claims that some troops have withdrawn from along Ukraine's border.
Our analysts indicate that they remain very much in a threatening position.
President Biden says at least 150,000 troops are now surrounding Ukraine, up from 130,000 a few days ago. Ukraine said it experienced a cyber attack on its defense ministry, armed forces, and 2 state-owned banks. So far, it's not clear whether the attacks originated from Russia. Here at home, the FBI and Department of Homeland Security are warning law enforcement, the military, and other entities of potential Russian cyber attacks if Russia invades Ukraine. The threat of an invasion also has financial markets on edge. Analysts fear a Russian invasion of Ukraine could send oil and gas prices skyrocketing, and Americans would feel it at the pump.
Expect to see the price go up by another 50 to 75 cents a gallon if Russia goes ahead with an invasion of Ukraine.
The national average for a gallon of gas is $3.49. That's up almost $1 compared to last year and a 7-year high. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
President Biden's speech today was his first on the crisis after weeks of diplomatic talks, including a call today with the French president and the deployment of thousands of U.S. troops to NATO countries in Eastern Europe. 9 families of victims of the Sandy Hook Elementary School mass shooting reached a $73 million settlement in their wrongful death lawsuit against Remington and its insurers. The firearms company made the Bushmaster AR-15 style rifle used in that 2012 shooting that killed 20 kids and 6 adults in Newtown, Connecticut. 2005 federal law protects many gun makers from wrongful death lawsuits brought by family members, but attorneys for the Sandy Hook families pushed a different approach by trying to hold the company partly responsible because of its marketing strategy. Nicole Hockley, the mother of Dylan Hockley, a victim of the shooting, says the ruling won't bring her son back, but she hopes it's a catalyst for change.
But I made him a promise, and I'll keep working to deliver that promise for the rest of my life. My hope for this lawsuit is that by facing and finally being penalized for the impact of their work, gun companies, along with the insurance and banking industries that enable them, will be forced to make their practices safer than they've ever been, which will save lives and stop more shootings.
In 2019, the U.S. Supreme Court decided not to take up an appeal by Remington, effectively allowing the suit to move forward. The next year, Remington filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection for the second time in just over 2 years. The U.S. Senate approves Robert Califf to serve as Commissioner of the Food and Drug Administration for the second time. He won confirmation in the Senate in a narrow 50-46 vote that was not along party lines. 6 Republicans voted for him, while 5 Democrats voted against. One key opposing voice belonged to Democratic Senator Joe Manchin, who said Califf is too tied to the pharmaceutical industry to head the FDA. Califf is a cardiologist who headed the agency once before with much less opposition. The Senate approved him with an 89-4 vote during former President Barack Obama's final year in office. Califf stepped down shortly before former President Donald Trump was sworn in. A team of American scientists reports they've possibly cured HIV in a woman for the first time. The scientists used a cutting-edge stem cell transplant method using umbilical cord blood they hope will be available to many more people in the future. A quote, New York woman of mixed race received the treatment 4 years ago and according to researchers is still off of HIV medication and remains asymptomatic and healthy. The woman is the 3rd person ever who appears to be cured. Later, Pitt State baseball hosts Oklahoma Baptist for the Gorillas home opener.
Plus another strong storm system heading in our direction. Those details coming up. Well, it turned out to be a mild and very windy day for us today. Winds gusting at times 40 to 50 miles per hour. So getting up there, it's still windy out there right now. It's going to stay windy tonight and then into the daytime hours tomorrow. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo's just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, temperatures holding upper 50s. We're really going to hold steady all night long. These southerly winds are really going to keep those temperatures up. South winds 20 upwards to 30 miles per hour. But we have been getting gusts that have been higher than that. Gusts in that kind of 30 to 40 mile per hour range over the past few hours, even higher earlier today. As of right now, we just have clouds increasing. We're sitting at 59, south winds at about 20, humidity is sitting at 51%. Winter storm watch in effect, northern, western counties. I do expect a winter weather advisory, probably areas along the north of I-44 to go into effect or at least be issued as we head into tomorrow. As of right now, just the clouds, nothing underneath the clouds, so we're fine for tonight. Main storm system out toward Las Vegas. This is going to track right on out toward us. Ooh, that got big. Tracking out right toward us as we head into the daytime hours tomorrow and starting to change our weather up. All right, clouds tonight. I really think most of the morning's dry. We do start to get a few random showers, hit and miss, in here during the afternoon. But by tomorrow evening, you can see our cold front. Here's 8:30 p.m. Thunderstorms start to erupt along the front, kind of sink toward the south and to the east. At the same time, moisture is increasing back through central Oklahoma. Any of these storms could be strong to low-grade severe. So when I say low-grade severe, some gusty winds and some small hail. Very heavy amounts of rain. Here's after midnight. Big batch of rain works through showers thunderstorms. In the pink, this is switching over to freezing rain and sleet. So this is 4:30 in the morning. Let's go to 7 a.m. You can see that freezing rain sleet line all the way down to the metro. But at this point in time, we get a dry slot. We get a dry punch of air, so the heaviest moisture lifts out. So a little bit of a break, but as the backside of the system rotates in, we're all going to be sleet and snow by the time we head into Thursday afternoon. All right, first off, let's look at severe weather potential. Most of us are very low threat, a little bit higher once you get into eastern Oklahoma. Let's say timing after 4 p.m., probably after 8 p.m. until about 5 a.m. Low-grade severe storms, tornado threat is low. Ice. We could have a problem with ice, especially Kansas, southwestern Missouri, north of I-44. So from Parsons, Pittsburgh, Lamar, a tenth to 2/10 of an inch, maybe a quarter of an inch. In some spots a little bit higher. So this is going to be freezing rain, then sleet on top of that. Snow, that back band that rotates in, most of us are in the white, so a dusting upwards to an inch. May have to up this a little bit tomorrow, but I think that's pretty accurate. Once you get to Iola, Chanute, Fredonia, and Neodesha, Yates Center, several inches of snow, especially Yates Center North. You guys will be in that 3 to 6 band of snow. 64. Rain picks up tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, 1 to 3 inches of rain. So we're going to get a lot of rain. And then we drop into the 20s on Thursday, the wintry mix, but at least we rebound quickly into the weekend.
That's quite a drop. 64 on Wednesday, 17 the overnight low on Thursday.
Gets down there.
Yes, thanks, Doug. Los Angeles Rams weren't the only winners on Super Bowl Sunday. Nevada's sports books also scored a touchdown, financially speaking. The state's gaming control board says close to $180 million was wagered on the big game. That's an all-time record for Super Bowl bets. The previous record was in 2018 when nearly $159 million was wagered. Coming up in sports, Pitt State baseball hosts Oklahoma Baptist in their home opener, and Neosho aims to stay hot against 8th-ranked Webb City. Danny Terzer has that and more next.
State is 2-4 on the early season, coming off a tough weekend in Arkansas. Today, though, the Gorillas return to Al Ortolani Field for their home opener. Pitt State hosting Oklahoma Baptist for a non-conference game. The Gorillas fell to the Bison just last week. In the third, Gorillas trailing. Garrett McGowan hits a 2-run blast to put the Gorillas within 1. Next inning, bases loaded for the Bison. Dan Pruitt singles to center. All 3 men on score. Later, Aaron Gertis hits one out to right. Cruz Aranda comes racing home from first. PSU down 10-6. The 7th inning now, Caleb Carr comes in to pinch hit. He gets a base hit. Gertis gets his 4th run of the day. Trey McClelland also scores. Gorillas start to pour it on here, still in the 7th. Wild pitch. Mason Hartman dives home to give Pitt State their first lead of the game. 7 runs come across in the inning, but Oklahoma Baptist finds a way to close it out. The Bison win 15-14. Crowder baseball in action today for a home doubleheader against Seminole State. In Game 1, Crowder dominates 16-6. Josh Patrick scores 3 and drives in 3 more. Jackson Cobb adds 2 runs and 3 RBI. Game 2 is closer, but Crowder gets the sweep, winning 7-6. Patrick stays hot, going 3 for 5 in Game 2, while bringing in 3 more runs for the Rough Riders. The Neosho Wildcats have been on a tear, winning their last 6 of 7 games. They're currently 16-6 and ranked 9th in Class 5. Neosho hosting Webb City in a big top 10 matchup. Dante Washington gets the takeaway. On the other end, he makes the layup plus the foul. Washington finishes with 16. Webb City up early in the first. Then Caden Waters knocks down the 3. That ties up the game. End of the first here, Webb City working it around. Trey Rhodes gets the bucket in the paint at the buzzer. Webb down though after 1. Neosho extending their lead. Isaiah Green takes it himself. Easy bucket for 2. Back to Rhodes in the corner, this time for 3. He nails it. Drops a game-high 26 points, and Webb City gets by Neosho tonight 74-71. The Seneca boys head basketball coach is being honored today in the Indians' final home game of the season. Will King is retiring at the end of the season after 18 years as the Indians' head coach. In his time at Seneca, King has led the Indians to 3 conference championships and 3 district championships.
I started seeing more and more people here from my past. I have several past assistants here, lots of great past players here. And again, I'm a firm believer that life's about relationships, and that's the biggest blessing through all of this. Through 18 years of coaching here, I've been blessed with a lot of great relationships, a lot of great young men. That's been huge to me, and man, it's so great to see their faces tonight and their families.
That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
We take time now to honor a local veteran. Seaman First Class Billy Kaiser served in the U.S. Navy. He's from Miami, Oklahoma, and we are proud to salute Seaman First Class Billy Kaiser, tonight's 4th state hero. The DeLorean Motor Company announced the return of its iconic car with a new teaser for its DeLorean Reimagined. The company says the new electric vehicle is set to premiere this year. From the teaser video the company posted, it appears the new DeLorean will keep its signature gull-wing doors. Production on the original DeLorean lasted only between 1981 and 1983, so it was all wrapped up before those Back to the Future films even started. I don't know what happens when you get this car up to 88 miles an hour, but it'd be interesting to find out.
Yeah.
That's the...
I know.
Okay. We're not going to be getting up to 88 degrees.
No, but mid-60s. So making a run at it, and then as we go through time in the future, we drop into the 20s with wintry weather.
Quick sports notes.
Webb City gets a big win over Neosho tonight. Pitt State drops their home opener.
Don't forget the morning show, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.